And after being postponed twice in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Commonwealth Heads of Government has now opened in Kigali, Rwanda, with the Commonwealth Women's Forum Nigeria, with the Commonwealth Women Forum. Nigeria will be participating with a delegation headed by President Muhammadu Buhari, who is also expected to deliver a remark on malaria and other tropical neglected diseases when the Forum Heads of State opens this Friday. TVC News correspondent Moyo Thomas tells us more.
About 40 presidents and heads of government of Commonwealth nations are expected at the 26th biennial meeting of the body in Kigali, Rwanda. The theme of this year's meeting is Delivering a Common Future, Connecting, Innovating, Transforming. It will highlight how the 54 member countries are working to achieve the common objective of the body, especially on protecting natural resources and promoting international trade. The conference will also strengthen the bond of all member countries, transcending Africa, Asia, Australia, Caribbean, Canada, New Zealand, which all used to be colonies of Britain. The conference will open on the 24th of June, followed by high-level meetings of heads of government on the same day and the next. The head of the Commonwealth, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, will not be attending, but Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales, will act in her stead. President Buhari, who is expected to attend the high-level meetings, will also attend the heads of government and business leaders roundtable and hold bilateral meetings with some Commonwealth leaders on the sidelines of the conference. Nigeria hopefully expects to attract investment opportunities into critical sectors such as energy, agriculture, mining, solid minerals, and ICT, as stated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in a release statement. The statement further says Nigeria will also engage with development partners, donor agencies, and international communities. Ministerial meetings, the 4 forums, and other side events, however, started on the 20th of June, including the Commonwealth Women Forum, declared open by the wife of the President of Rwanda, Jeanette Kagame.
That this forum, Women's Forum, goes down in memory as the catalyst of heartening and deep lasting transformation for women and girls in Commonwealth countries and beyond.
This forum is a golden opportunity to take decisive steps towards these goals and build a safer, more secure, more prosperous future for all.
The heads of government are expected to appoint the Commonwealth Secretary General, which analysts believe Patricia Scotland will be reappointed for a second tenure. Meanwhile, the President of Rwanda is expected to take over as the chair of Commonwealth Heads of Government from the UK's Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. Moyo Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's get more insights. International affairs analyst Paul Ejime joins me from the nation's capital, Abuja, via Zoom. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much for having me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So I want to get to the theme of this meeting in a moment, but let me start by asking you what you think the success stories of the Commonwealth are, seen as some of these countries, or most of these countries, are colonies of Britain. And one might think that Britain is out of touch with what's exactly going on in these countries. But let me get your thoughts on the success stories of the Commonwealth.
So it is an association. Now they have grown up to 54. It's no longer some former British colonies, if you like, are now joining. Which means perhaps they are doing something right or something good. That is why they are joining. For instance, Togo and Gabon will be bringing in their application to join. Mozambique is there. Mozambique is, some Portuguese countries have joined. So in terms of, and it brings some 54 countries, like we said, and estimated population of 2.5 billion. The GDP about $13 trillion. So I think for the sake that they meet together, discuss a common problem, for instance, remember that the team for this year talks about delivering a common future, connecting, innovating, and transforming. So they are doing something right, but again, there is also the criticism that perhaps they could do more in terms of helping of the 32, of the 42 or 52 countries, small countries in the world, 32 are in the Commonwealth. And I think because it brings together the rich, the middle, medium, and then the small countries. So it's a hybrid, a place where you have everybody. And you are asking perhaps that the developed countries amongst them, like Britain, like Australia and others, should be able to help the smaller countries. But it's not in terms of just doling out aid. Let them make trade, partnership, in a way that it will be competitive and favor those who are not cannot be considered as developed. But in terms of education, remember that there is the Commonwealth scholarship, which goes around across all the member states, and people enjoy that. And the Queen is there. I think Prince Charles is the one representing her. But so many countries are also removing that monarchical overlord of the Britain and going out, taking on their independence. But it's good because when you compare that with other colonial powers like France, you notice that in that case, they seem to be more overbearing. But the British, they allowed their former colonies much more freedom to, that is why other countries that were colonized by other countries, are now trying to join the Commonwealth. So it's a mixed bag, but I think they can always improve. Let's put it that way.
Mm. And let's talk about the theme. You already touched on it, which is delivering a common future. What there is the common future. And they talked about innovating and transforming and all of that. But what exactly is the common future, especially now that people are asking for a severance of ties, especially when it has to do with colonist legacies? We saw what happened. I think it was Prince William and the Duchess of Cambridge who went to Jamaica, and then the citizens showed a level of dissatisfaction there. Is there still a common future? And if there is, what is that common future?
Well, it's an ideal that perhaps they are all working towards. You can never have a perfect world, and they will tell you that all fingers are not equal. So common in the sense that among the smaller countries, they have their problems, it's pervasive. It's across all of them: poverty, unemployment, health issues, and, they're also struggling with democracy. So, and these are the areas where, among them too, there are those who tend to have made more positive strides in terms of governance, in terms of welfare, in terms of human rights. But the commonness there is that everybody should be aiming towards one direction, where you will have, human rights, the rule of law, and then availability of the health and social amenities. These are things, the basics of life, education, and have your country provide for you in terms of medical services that you don't have to travel. If you don't have the money, what do you do? But those who have the money do so. So that commonness is in trying, I would say, speaks to the basics of life and of living.
But if I may jump in here, Paul, if I may, we have a situation where none of these decisions are legally binding because it is not a treaty-based organization. So one wonders why leaders are taking their time out, 3 days of their time to go for a meeting where you may or may not even decide to go through with any of these decisions. So what's the whole point?
Yes, many of the decisions are taken by consensus, and then it does go a long way instead of bringing very competitive or poisonous or toxic situation. For instance, they are going now to talk about whether the Secretary General, Baroness Patricia Scott, will be renewed. Her mandate will be renewed. Britain, for instance, is supporting another candidate that, from Jamaica, and so on and so forth. But you find that at the end of the day, and remember that our own Chief Emeka Anyoku had also headed that organization for 10 years, you know, from 1989 to 2000. So it is a way where there is, you will say, in a way, it brings that, you know, commonness or leveler. But at other times, it also shows the inequality. I think that is what they should be addressing. They should do it in a way that you may say, well, the decisions are not binding, but it is about the commitment. What it is of the leaders, those who go there. I know what you're saying, getting leaders together for 3 days. But it's not, if you look at what the Commonwealth has done in terms of, I've told you about education, along the line, there could be meetings that imagine where they will discuss bilateral and multilateral issues. So if the Commonwealth as a body also puts in word on behalf of a member, maybe in terms of trade negotiation or getting anything from international. We're living in a globalized world where you cannot afford to be in isolation. So you work as a group. I think it's better that if Commonwealth can make a case, for instance, for Nigeria, then remember that Commonwealth
I'm afraid we do have to leave it there. My apologies, but my time is gone. But it will be interesting to see how the leadership crisis is resolved, and that's exactly one of the issues that everyone is watching out for, especially because Patricia, Scotland has now done 6 years, if you count the COVID-19 period of the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you so much for talking to us, International Affairs Analyst Paul Ejime.
Thank you for having me.